Hello, everybody. Mr. Casil here. So, we've now reached the end of the year. We're in our last week of school, and we have made it. Congratulations, you guys. I've missed you. I haven't been in there since November, and I've honestly missed seeing all of your faces. It's been really hard to do this instruction and this teaching without your live feedback, without the jokes that you guys make. And come on, I haven't been able to share very many of my dad jokes. I mean, it's all right, but there's also some left. So, great job, you guys. Excellent work. I know that it hasn't been ideal. I know it hasn't worked the way we would have wanted it to go, but I really do mean everyone. Some of you have engaged awesome and have been on every day, every week, and have been completing the assignments. Some of you I still haven't heard from yet. But I'm including you as well because I really mean everyone. If I haven't heard from you and I haven't seen you, I do honestly believe and trust it's because you've been taking care of your personal and emotional health. And so you did the right thing. Now, when we look at next year, I can't promise that it's going to be something where you're going to see your teachers' faces. I really hope so. I really hope it's something that we get to see each other and actually work with each other, but it could just be more of this, more strictly remote learning. It's going to include some remote learning no matter what. Now, with that in mind, as a teacher especially, there's been some difficulties with remote learning, and I've heard from some of you students as well those difficulties as well. So here are some of the things as a teacher that I can share about the barriers and ways to overcome those barriers with remote learning, to learn online, to learn from a classroom that is just digital and not in person. So here's some things. Set a place that's consistent. I'm a teacher, so it's easy for me to do, but I also am a dad. I have a 2-year-old running around. And if any of you guys don't know, a 2-year-old knows how to find and reach things that are surprising. So set a time to be consistent as well. Set a place and a time so that on a weekly basis, on a daily basis, you have a place that's sacred that you can go to get work done. You'll find that if you can create those things, what you build is a habit then. You have a place that you can go to and a time you can go to that people know as well, that they can predict so that you can get that schoolwork done, so that it is a place that you can count on and other people can count on to accomplish your goals. Many of you guys have already noticed that the times that I have set for myself is 10 o'clock at night after the kids go to bed. So if that's what you guys have to do as well, then do it. You can do it. It's work and it's hard, but you absolutely can pull it off. So the other piece that I have is as some guidance thinking about next year is daily goals. So if you've experienced this before, you've heard your teacher say set SMART goals. This is exactly one of those things where you want to have something that is attainable just that day. So when you sit down and you go to get started, don't plan to do literally everything unless that's reasonable and possible. Spread it out over the course of the week. Spread it out over the course of time. So that way, when you go to sit down and it's the day before all of your assignments are due, you're not overwhelmed, burned out. And because it's only online, you don't have the tools to complete it. So set daily goals. So that way you can pace yourself and you actually have time to email and contact your teachers with questions, and they have time to respond to you before it's too late. The other thing about that is if you have any troubles whatsoever, let your teachers know, especially if you have internet troubles. Let them know early. Call the school. Let people know so that your teachers know as well. That way they can plan, get you paper materials, and we could do all that early and sooner. Even though I want to know all of you well, I only know what you guys share with me. And so I know that there's at least one student who shared with me they didn't have internet access, so I printed off a set of paper materials for this time. I haven't heard that from many others. And so if you've been in that position where you haven't been engaging because you don't have that access or that's really, really difficult, then make your voice heard so that we as teachers can take care of you for that. And that's true with your other problems and difficulties as well. Contact your teachers early and frequently. We as teachers want to help. That's our job. I don't know if you guys noticed, I kind of like my job. So contact us early, contact us frequently. We can then set up the things to help you and make it possible for you to learn in the things that are within our control. So part of that within our control piece is the more specific your question is, or the more specific your request is, the more possible it is for us as teachers to help you with it. So that's something that I call a point of confusion, right? Especially if it's academic. If you have a question or you're doing your work and you get stuck, email me your question that's as specific as possible, because then I can answer it easier and quicker, and it actually answers your question rather than describing 5 other parts of the assignment that you already know and are wasting your time then. The other piece is learning from videos. I anticipate that next year, even if we do have some face-to-face instruction and we get to actually see each other, there's going to be parts of it where us as teachers have to assign videos, either videos that we're making or videos that we're finding on Khan Academy, or if it's your English class or social studies class, it could be any number of resources. But I anticipate that a video is going to be part of it. If you're going to learn from a video, remember to rewind, to pause, to rewatch, and to practice. All of it involves note-taking. So you're writing things down and you're engaging with the videos. It's not just entertainment that's happening on in the background. You're not watching a show. It's as if your teacher was actually there instructing and you're actually writing things down. So, but the only good thing is that you can pause your teacher and you can rewind your teacher and you can actually rehear some of the things that they've said. And then that practice piece, once you've done all of that, you have a part that you can actually practice what you learned and practice what you know. Even if it is as simple as a teacher's going through an example, you can pause the video after you've seen it a few times, open up to a new page, and do the example without looking at your notes and see if you get it right. That's a great way to practice and use a video for learning so that you can guarantee you understand what the video is talking about. After everything's said and done, once you've done that, email your teachers with points of confusion. Email your teachers with questions. That's what we're here for. That's what we hope to be able to describe. And we can respond via email or video or lots of other routes. We've seen during this time that a Google Meet is super easy to set up. So, as always, we as teachers can provide instruction. We can set up materials. We can do a lot of work and a lot of time to make it easier for you to learn. But at the end of the day, the learning is something that you do. You are responsible for your learning. And we, as teachers, are facilitators of that. We want to make that as easy for you as possible. But you're responsible ultimately for whether or not you learn the material. And so normally in a classroom, we have a lot of supports, and they're supports that we're familiar with. Now with this online learning environment, while we do still have supports, they're supports that we're unfamiliar with, which means we're also uncomfortable with it. We as teachers are also learning what those supports are and how to best use them. And so while they look different and they're harder to use at first, and it's going to be a lot of transitions that happen and that occur, we will figure it out. We will get it. We as teachers and you as students can master this so that we are good at what we're doing. And the best way to make that happen so that we as teachers can learn as well is with you guys asking questions. So the more questions you ask, the more you engage with this process, the better it's going to serve you. And I do mean you as an individual, because we as teachers can make some systemic changes, I know how to English. We can make some systemic changes based off of the feedback and the questions you guys have. But for you as an individual, since you are learning the material, we as teachers can help that happen. So I appreciate your work and I appreciate your time. I hope you have an incredibly restful summer break. And I honestly do hope that when next year comes around and we're coming back in the fall, we actually do get to come back and get to see each other and work together once again. But if not, we're here for you. I'm here for you. and I look forward to helping you learn regardless of how that looks. So, take care and enjoy your summer.